Hello, my name's Adam Winstock. I'm a consultant addiction psychiatrist and I've been working with people who've got drug and alcohol problems for the last 20 years. One of the problems I find is that many people who drink or take drugs don't feel comfortable disclosing their use of substances to their GPs or other healthcare professionals. Particularly when it comes to alcohol, which is such a widely used drug and is socially acceptable, it can be very difficult for people to talk about their alcohol use or consider whether their use is problematic or not. One of the ways that we can help people is to offer something called brief intervention and advice, which is basically asking people, how much do you drink, how often do you drink, and what are the consequences? It's the sort of stuff your GP might ask you if you go along and see them. But we also know that people live in a digital world. And in order to help people understand the impact of their alcohol consumption on their lives and on their physical health, Global Drug Survey created our amazing free app, the Drinks Meter, which is available on both app stores but also at drinksmeter.com. The Drinks Meter app does a couple of really clever things. The first thing it says is, what do you drink? How much? How do you spend? And then we provide you feedback on how many units have you consumed. We'll then convert that into calories. We'll even convert it into chocolate bars, apples, packets of crisps, and we'll tell you how your drinking compares to national guidelines. But one of the fairy tales people tell themselves, particularly if they drink too much or they take drugs, is that I know I drink a little bit more than everyone else, but I'm special. I run marathons, I have a healthy diet, and therefore I'm better protected compared to other people when it comes to drinking more. So what the Drinks Meter does is it doesn't just work out how much you drink, but then we ask you questions about your past history, your medical health, your family history, whether or not you use other substances when you drink. And we adjust your drinking as a way of demonstrating your personal vulnerability to alcohol. We might explain to you why, for example, if you're overweight, drinking is potentially more harmful to your liver. Or we'll talk about why being on antidepressants might mean that alcohol places you at greater risk. The next thing we do is we take you through something called the audit. That stands for the Alcohol Use Disorders Identification Test. It's a 10-item screening questionnaire developed by the WHO. And based on that feedback, we can tell you whether you're a low risk, higher risk, or very high risk drinker. But then we start tapping into what I think is the most important thing, which is whether or not you'd like to drink less. And amazingly, around the world, about 30 or 40% of people who answer the Global Drug Survey every year say they'd like to drink less. And the number one way that they would like to seek help or get advice about how to drink less are through apps. That was one of the reasons that we developed the Drinks Meter. What the Drinks Meter will then let you do is get rid of unnecessary drinks. Unnecessary drinks are shots at 11 o'clock after you've already drank 5 pints. It'll allow you to reflect on whether you really needed to have a half a bottle of wine on a Monday or Tuesday. And we'll show you what the impact is of removing those drinks, both on the number of units that you've drunk each week, but also on things like the money you spend and your calories. The new version of the Drinks Meter, version 3, which launches in May of 2019, will then allow you to set goals, set up a drink diary, and track your drinking over time. And we've also got a clever little tool at the end called the Drinks Pourer tool, where you'll be able to see if you can guess what one standard drink or 1 unit is of alcohol in your country. The Drinks Meter is anonymous, it's free, it's confidential, and it can give you advice that might change your life. So if you're someone who's thinking you might drink a little bit too much, or you know someone who you're worried about their drinking, suggest they download the Drinks Meter app, and you might be doing them a great favour.